Good morning. I am Dr. W. B. Gunwale from Kamlanir Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur. Today I am giving presentation on the d orbital splitting in tetragonal geometry and square planar geometry. And after that, what are the factors which are affecting the CFSE value. In my first lecture, I have discussed about the what is a CFT, what are the important points of CFT, and after that we have seen d orbital splitting in octahedral geometry and the tetrahedral geometry. So today's presentation is now again on the crystal field theory, and here already we have seen the d orbital splitting in octahedral complex and the tetrahedral complexes. Now we are going to see today the d orbital splitting in tetragonal complex. So this is a regular octahedron and having bond distances, all bond distances are equal, and now here when the two trans ligands are elongated, then we get tetragonally distorted octahedral geometry. When these two trans ligands are compressed or flattening take place, then we get a square planar geometry. So here these two geometry we get, and if you consider a regular octahedral complex in which all the 6 bond distances are equal, and now if two trans ligand moved slightly away from the central metal cation, the symmetrical shape of the octahedral complex become tetragonally distorted octahedral shape. Now if the two trans ligands are completely removed away from the z-axis, the tetragonally distorted octahedral shape become square planar. So in case of octahedral complex, 6 ligands split the d orbital on the central metal into T2g and Eg state. If the d electrons are symmetrically arranged, they will repel all the 6 ligands equally. Therefore, the structure will be regular octahedron. If the d electrons are asymmetrically arranged, they will repel some ligands in the complex more than others. Therefore, the structure is distorted from approaching the metal as closely as other. The Eg orbital point directly at the ligands. Therefore, asymmetric filling of Eg orbital result in some ligands being repelled more than others. This causes a significant distortion of the octahedral shape. In contrast, the T2g orbital do not point directly at the ligand but point in between the ligand directions. Therefore, asymmetric filling of the T2g orbital has only very small effect on the stereochemistry. The two Eg orbital d square y square and dz square are normally degenerate. However, if they are asymmetrically filled, then this degeneracy is destroyed and the two orbitals are no longer equal in energy. If dz square orbital contains one more electron than d square y square orbital, then the ligand approaching along the z-axis experience greater repulsion than the other 4 ligands. The repulsion and distortion result in elongation of the octahedron along the z-axis. This is also called tetragonal distortion, and we can also say that it is a tetragonal elongation. This form of distortion is commonly observed. If the d square y square orbital contains extra electron, then elongation will occur along x and y axis. This means that ligand approach more closely along the z-axis, and therefore there will be 4 long bonds and the 2 short bonds. This is also called tetragonal compression. Tetragonal elongation is much more common as compared to tetragonal compression, and hence tetragonally distorted octahedral complex, since the distances of trans ligand is increased from central metal ion by removing them away along the z-axis, d orbital dz square, dsy and dyz experience less repulsion as compared to dxy and d square y square orbital. Therefore, the energy of dz square, dxy, dyz orbital decreases, while that of d square y square and dxy orbital increases. And also here some examples are also there. Mn F3 and Cr F2 are tetragonally distorted octahedral structures. The molecules or the complex which have unequally filled set of orbitals, either T2g or Eg, will be distorted. In octahedral complexes, distortion from T2g level are too small to be detected. However, distortion resulting from uneven filling of Eg orbital are very important. So here we get these 2 types of geometry, and now how the splitting is taking place here, and because of that in figure it shows that this is the order of filling here in case of tetragonal, and these 5 degenerate d orbitals, this T2G set and EG set, and now here this T2 EG set again now split up into 2 set, dz square, and this is ds square y square, and this T2G set again split up into 2 set, here dxy in higher energy and dyz dxz. So this is the tetragonal crystal field splitting shown in this figure. So this is after octahedral splitting we get the tetragonal. After tetragonal also we obtain the square planar geometry. So again now we are going to see splitting in tetragonal square planar geometry. In case of square planar complexes, we can associate that it is the extreme case of tetragonal complex when the two transligand on the z-axis are completely removed, or shortening or flattening is taking place. In that case we get the square planar geometry is observed. And in case of square planar geometry, the order of orbitals are shown in the energy, and example of this square planar complex is tetracyanonickel 2 minus ion, and here 4 ligands are there, and these 4 ligands are square planar arranged around the central metal ion. This is the figure shows arrangement of 4 ligands around the metal ion, and this is the splitting energy level diagram of this square planar complexes. Now all these are the 5 degenerate d orbital. Degeneracy destroyed and split up into 2 set of orbital. This is the octahedral T2G set and EG set. Here this is the for each electron minus 0.4 delta O value is here decreases, minus for each electron for EG set of orbital plus 0.6 delta O value is there. Again now these two set of orbitals are split up into split up into 2 set, d square y square and dz square. Here these two are split up into dxy and dyz dx. This is also we have seen already. This is the tetragonal octahedral geometry, and after this now again the energy of this is slightly increases and we get this d square y square, and the dz square orbital energy again further decreases, and here is the energy of the dz square. xy orbital have again increases the energy, and here it is it is also greater than dz square, and dyz dxz orbital energy further decreases. So this is the splitting, and this total difference between this orbital, this one and this one, it is known as the represented delta sp for square planar, and this is delta 1 distance, this is delta 2, and this is delta 3, and opposite to this shown the splitting diagram for the tetrahedral. So in case of square planar complexes, if the central metal ion in complex has d8 configuration, 6 electron will occupy T2G orbital and 2 electron will occupy EG orbital. The arrangement is the same in the complex with weak field ligand. The orbitals are symmetrically filled and the regular octahedral complex is formed. For example, hexa-aco nickel 2 plus, and another complex is hexa-amino nickel 2 plus. The single electron of d square y square is repelled by 4 ligands, while the electron in the dz square orbital is only repelled by 2 ligands. Therefore, energy of the d square y square orbital increases as compared to dz square orbital. If the ligand field is sufficiently strong, then the difference in energy between these two orbitals become larger as compared to energy needed to pair the electron. Under this condition, more stable arrangement arises when both the EG orbitals pair up and occupy the lower energy dz square orbital. This leaves the d square y square orbital empty. Therefore, 4 ligands can now approach along x and y axis without any difficulty, as the d square y square orbital is empty. However, the ligands approaching along the z axis experience strong repulsive forces from the field d square orbital, and therefore only 4 ligands succeed in bonding to the metal, and hence square planar complex is formed. Square planar complexes are formed by d8 ion with strong field ligand. For example, tetracyanonickel 2 minus complex. All the complexes of platinum 2 plus and gold 3 plus are square planar, including the weak field ligand such as halide ion. Square planar structure can also be arranged from the d4 ion in weak ligand field. In this case, dz square orbital only contain 1 electron, and so this is the these are the splitting energy level diagram for square planar complex. This is for octahedral, this is for d and d orbitals, this is for octahedral, this is for tetragonal octahedral geometry, and this is for the square planar splitting d orbital in the complex. Now next topic is that what are the factors which are affecting the value of CFSE. CFSE means crystal field stabilization energy. Now there are three factors which are affecting the value of CFSE: nature of metal ion, nature of ligand, geometry of the complex. So first one is a nature of metal ion which affect the value of CFSE, and in this case there are different cases. First one is the nature of central metal ion. In this case, metal ion with different charges. Here in this example, two metal complexes are there. Complexes are same, but only the cobalt have 2 plus charge and this cobalt have 3 plus charge. In this case, ligand which causes only the small degree, what is now here, the metal ion or the cation with higher oxidation state has higher value of delta O. So here see, the metal ion with higher oxidation state have higher value of delta O. This effect is probably due to the fact that central ion with higher oxidation state will polarize the ligand more effectively, and therefore ligand approach such a cation more closely as compared to other cation having lower oxidation state, resulting in a large splitting. So this is the reason. Because of that, the metal ion with high oxidation state have higher value of delta O. This is one case, in case of nature of central metal ion. And now in case of second point or second case, in that case the metal ion having now this is the table which shows the same charge, metal ion having the same charge, but number of d electrons are different. In this case now, in case of this cobalt 2, number of d electrons are 7, means d7. In this case, number of electrons are nickel 2 is there, and number of unpaired number of electrons, d electrons are 8. So it is observed that now in this case, complexes having cation with the same charge but the different number of d electrons in the central metal cation, the magnitude of delta O decreases with the increase of number of d electrons. So in this case, number of d electron increases, the value decreases, delta value decreases, and this is the one example shown in this table. So this is the second case in case of nature of metal ion. And now third one is a different metal ion with different charges. In this table it shows that metal ions have different charges. Metal also different. This is vanadium, chromium, and charges are also different. Number of d electrons are same, and in this case we can say that two different cations having the same number of d electrons and the same geometry of the complex but with different charge can also be compared, and cation with higher oxidation state has larger value of delta O as compared to lower oxidation state, and example is given. So here the delta value is more in case the metal ion with higher oxidation state. So chromium have 3 oxidation state, therefore it is having greater value of delta O. Another case is now quantum number of d orbitals. Now here in this table it shows that number of d electrons are same, metal ions are different, but here quantum numbers are d subshell, means this is 3d, 4d, 5d. As the quantum number increases 3, 4, 5, the delta value also increases. So we can say that here delta O value increases about 50% from 3d to 4d, and also it is also increases from 4d to 5d complexes. So example is shown in the figure in the table, and it is also observed that 5d and 4d valence orbitals of the central metal ions are better than 3d orbital in sigma bonding with the ligands. So these are the 4 cases in case of nature of metal ion, and this is the first factor. And in the next slide, and the second factor is the nature of ligand. So see here the nature of ligand. Nature of ligand is shown here, and 4 examples have been given. Metal ions are same, but the ligands are different. and the ligands may be weak field or strong field, and delta value increases with the increase of strength of the ligand. And now in case of nature of ligand also affect the value of CFAC. The ligand which causes only the small degree of crystal field splitting are also known as weak field ligand. Ligand which cause large splitting are called strong field ligand. The magnitude of delta O changes from stronger to weaker ligand. Stronger ligand are those which exert strong field on the central metal ion and hence have higher splitting power, while weak ligands are those which have weaker field on the central metal cation and relatively lower splitting power. The stronger ligand, for example Cn- give longer value of delta O, and a weaker ligand, for example F- give a smaller value of delta O. So in case of this table also clearly shows as the strength of ligand increases, so the value of delta O also. So it depends upon the delta O value, depends upon the nature of ligand. Nature of ligands are different. And now in case of nature of ligand means whether the ligand is weak ligand or ligand is a strong ligand. And also it is, we know that strength of the ligand and all the ligands arranged according to their increasing energy, that is also is there, that is it is also known as the spectrochemical series. And we can say that the common ligand which can be arranged in the order of their increasing splitting power to cause d orbital splitting, this series is also known as spectrochemical series, and this is very important, and this series is arranged according to their increasing energy of the ligand and which causes the d orbital splitting. And now another factor is there, third factor, geometry of the complex. Geometry of the complex, that is generally three geometries are there. One is a octahedral geometry, tetrahedral geometry and square planar geometry. All the three geometry splitting of the d orbital in all the three geometry already we have seen, and we have seen that delta Sp is greater than delta O and delta O is greater than delta T. And how the relation is there, delta Sp is equals to 1.3 delta O and delta T equals to 0.45 delta O. So delta Sp is more greater than delta O and delta T, and delta O is greater than delta T. So in this case of geometry, we also say that it is already we have seen that the change of geometry of the complex, the value of delta O also changes. And in this case of there are three factors which are affecting the value of CFAC. Now after this, another next point that we are going to see is a distribution of electron in T2G and EG orbital in the octahedral field. Now in case of octahedral field, there are two cases, when the ligand are weak and when the ligand are strong. So in case of when the ligands are weak, we can say that here this is the octahedral CFT diagram, and this is T2G has lower energy, EG at higher energy. Example we have taken here COF6 3- complex. In this case delta O is small, so we can say that this is the high spin state. When delta O is small, it is a high spin, because this delta O is very small, these levels are very close, and therefore one by one electron goes to the each orbital and then pairing will take place. So in case of so there are two cases when the ligand are weak. In that case, under the influence of weak ligand, the energy difference delta O between the T2G and EG set is relatively small, and hence all the 5 d orbitals are supposed to be degenerate. The distribution of d electron in T2G and EG set take place according to the Hund's rule. Hund's rule states that the electrons are singly filled first and then pairing will take place. If we consider octahedral complex COF6 3- which contain weak ligand F, the distribution of 6 d electrons of cobalt 3+ ion, cobalt 3+ means 3d6 configuration, in T2G and EG set will be T2G4 EG2. The complexes like COF6 3- which contain weak ligand are also known as weak field or low field complexes. So this is low field weak field complexes. An important feature of this is that in the formation of such complex, delta O is less than P. P is the pairing energy, which is the energy required to pair 2 electrons in the same orbital. So this is the one case when the ligands are weak. So delta O is small. And second case is when ligands are strong, and then we can say that here T2G is here, Eg is here. Only the difference is that delta O is large, and this state, example of this complex is given, hexaamino cobalt 3 plus complex, and in this case delta O is large, and this is also known as a low spin complexes. So this complex is low spin complex. When ligands are strong, the splitting is more. Therefore, Eg orbital have higher energy than T2G orbital. So in octahedral complexes containing strong ligand, distribution of electron does not obey Hund's rule. So consider the distribution of 6d electron of cobalt 3 plus ion in the complex hexaamino cobalt 3 plus, which contain stronger ligand. The distribution of electrons is a T2G6 Eg0. The complex like hexaamino cobalt 3 plus, which contains strong ligand, are called strong field or high field complexes. In the formation of such complex, delta O is greater than P. P is the pairing energy. So now in the next slide, what is CFSE? Crystal field stabilization energy. According to the CFT, under the influence of 6 ligand approaching towards the central metal ion during the formation of octahedral complex, the d orbitals are split up into two sets of orbital, that is T2G and Eg set. T2G set of orbital is triply degenerate, while Eg set of orbital is doubly degenerate. The energy gap between these two sets is equal to delta O or 10 dq. The energy of T2G set is lowered by 0.4 delta O or 4 dq, while that of Eg set is raised by 0.6 delta O or 6 dq as compared to the hypothetical degenerate d orbital. Therefore, in octahedral complex, filling of T2G orbital decreases the energy of complex by minus 0.4 delta O per electron and make it more stable. Filling of Eg orbital increases the energy by plus 0.6 delta O per electron. So the total crystal field stabilization energy can be given in the equation, that is a CF is equals to 0.4 En T2G, 0.6 En Eg. T2G and Eg are nothing but the number of electrons occupying in T2G and Eg set of orbitals, and therefore we can determine CFSE value. So CFSE is equals to this is the equation. We have to put the value of T2G and Eg and into 10 dq. If you remove this point here and 10, we get this another equation. So this is the concept of CFSE, and now it is also possible to distribute the electrons, and this is the arrangement of electron in octahedral geometry from D1 to D10. So in case of this arrangement in octahedral complex, now see, this is the number of d electrons. Arrangement, this is the weak field and this is the strong field, and here the magnetic moment value is also given. D1 is 1 electron is here, so for 1 electron 0.4 minus, here also same. In case of D2, 4 minus 4 plus 4, 0.8, here also 0.8, and in case of D3, 3 electrons are there, so 4 4 4, so minus 1.2. In case of D4, 2 spin states are possible. This is high spin, this is low spin. In case of high spin, configuration is given T2G 3 Eg1, and here this is for 3 electron minus 1.2, and for 1 electron plus 0.6, so total equals to minus 0.6. In case of this, all 4 electrons are in T2G level, and therefore 4 4 4, so minus 1.6. And now in the similar way we can calculate the values of CFSE or delta O. Now these are, if there is 1 unpaired electron, the value is 1 point something. If there are P2, 2 point something, 3 point something, like that, and this spin moment value, this is the important feature, that if we know the value of CFSE, it is possible to calculate the number of unpaired electrons, and if the magnetic moment value is known, we know how many unpaired electrons are present in the system. So this is the table shows the distribution of d electron and value of CFSE. Now in the high spin and low spin complexes are there, and we can explain on the basis of delta O and pairing energy. For octahedral complexes containing weak ligand, the energy difference delta O between T2G and Eg set is relatively small. Hence, energy of all the 5d orbital is supposed to be same. Therefore, the filling of T2G and Eg orbital take place according to the Hund's rule. That is, electrons pair up only when each of the 5d orbitals is at least singly filled. In case of octahedral complex containing strong ligand, All the 3 d orbitals of low energy T2g set are filled up first, and then the 2 d orbital of high energy Eg set are filled. It is also observed that weak field octahedral complexes of d4, d5, d6, d7 ion have greater number of unpaired electrons than those strong field complexes, and hence have higher values of CFSE. It is for this reason that weak field complexes d4, d5, d6, d7 ions are called high spin or spin free complexes. Similarly, strong field complexes are also called low spin complexes. Pairing energy is the energy required to pair two electrons against electron repulsion in the same orbital. When delta O is less than P, high spin complex is formed. When delta O is greater than P, then low spin complexes are formed. And examples of low spin and high spin complexes are hexa echo chromium 2 plus, hexa echo manganese 3 plus is high spin complexes, while hexa cyano iron 4 minus, hexa amino cobalt 3 plus are low spin complexes. And there are most important application of this CFT is it is used to know the color of transition metal complexes, and we know that transition metal complexes are generally colored, and it is also observed that when complex absorbs entire white light falling on it, in that case it appears black in color. When it reflects all the light falling on it, in that case it appears colorless or white in color. And when the complex absorbs some part of the light and some part is reflected, in that case that complex appear colored. So this is the one important application of this CFT. And now there are some limitations of crystal field theory. Limitations means that is as we know that CFT, in case of CFT, metal and ligands are purely ionic, and it does not consider any the covalent nature of the metal ligand bonds. Actually, no bond is 100% ionic. It contains some percentage of ionic covalent, and it contains some percentage of ionic character, but covalent nature is not considered in CFT. Another limitation is that this CFT give more importance to the d orbital, but s and p orbital does not consider in this theory. So CFT, another limitation is that in case of ligand as a point charge, because in this CFT ligand is treated as a negative point charge, and this is possible only in case of when the ligands are small, but in case of ligand of is in a larger size, then this CFT is not correct. So these are some limitations of CFT, and some numericals are also there. Here the crystal field splitting energy for hexa echo titanium is given. Calculate the crystal field stabilization energy for this complex solution. So delta value is given, and titanium hexa echo titanium complex is an octahedral complex. Titanium atom number is 22, so argon 32 4s2. In this complex titanium is 3 plus because H2 is neutral, so titanium having 3 plus, so argon 3d1 4h0, so d orbital have 1 electron, so configuration is T2g1 Eg0. P number of electron in T2g is 1 and in Eg orbital is 0. So we can write the equation. This is the equation. Substitute value of P, 1 electron is there, and Q 0. Delta value is given. After calculation we get this value of CFSE. Another example is that crystal field splitting of 19950 cm inverse was observed for hexa echo complex of vanadium 3. What is the expected value of crystal field splitting for its tetra echo complex that has tetrahedral geometry? Now octahedral geometry delta value is given in this problem, and now the ligand metal ion are same. Relation between delta T and delta O is given, as we already have seen. Delta T equals to 0.45 delta O, so delta value is given, multiply it and we get this result for delta T. Value can be calculated. Another third numerical problem is that calculate the CFSE for high spin and low spin octahedral complexes of cobalt 3 with ammonia ligand. Given mean pairing energy is given, predict the spin state of complex given delta value of octahedral 2300 cm inverse. So delta O value is given, pairing energy is also given, cobalt having atom number 27, so 3d7 4s2. In this complex the cobalt is in 3 oxidation state, so cobalt 3 plus have 3d6 4h0, number of d electrons are 6. For low spin complex, the configuration is T2g6 Eg0, number of T2g electrons are 6, Eg electrons are 0, and number of electron pairs are 3. So N is the number of paired electrons 3. So this is the equation to calculate. So put this value of P, Q, delta O and NP. N is the number of paired electrons are 3 and P is the pairing energy. After calculation we get this value. For high spin complexes, the T2G4, Eg2. So again now P is 4, Q is 2, the number of paired electrons is 1. And this is the high spin complex state. This is the equation. After substituting we get this value. Now it is observed that delta O value is greater than P. So delta O value is 23,000 and as compared to pairing energy here 21, and therefore spin of the complex will be formed with all electron in T2G level. So since delta O is greater than P, low spin complex will be formed. Spin state. Now another fourth number, calculate CFSE for chromium 3 complex for which 10 dq value is given and centimeter inverse and mean pairing energy is also given. So here delta O is given, the dq means 12600 is value given, delta O equal to 10 dq is equal to value is given, pairing energy value is given, chromium is given here 3, so chromium 24 atom number 3d5 4s1 and now 3d4 and 4s 3d5 4s1, chromium 2 plus is there, so 1 electron from 4s and 1 from this, so 3d5 1 electron is lost and then 3d4 4s0, number of d electrons are 4, P is greater than delta 0, therefore the complex exists as a high spin state. Therefore in case of high spin state, T2G3 in Eg1. So T2G electrons are 3, Eg electrons are 1, no pairing electron pair is there. So this is the equation. Substitute all this value of P, Q and P and delta O, we get this value. In this way the simple numerical problem can be solved. So today we have seen the splitting of d orbital in tetragonal geometry as well as in a square planar geometry, and after that we have seen the factors affecting the value of CFSE, what is CFSE and what are the types of ligand, how the CFSE value depends on the nature of ligand, that also we have seen. And lastly we have seen two spin state, high spin and low spin complexes, and how to calculate the value of CFSE. Some numerical problem already we have also seen. So this CFT part is complete here. Thank you.